Right, so in this vid I want to talk about this accelerator, which is an 8-inch, and I thought I'd show I'll show what it does better than a 10-inch for UK residential windows. What I did to modify this, so if you want to have a really nice size to work with, because this is my most popular size that I work with on a pole, more than the 14-inch with residential work especially, but I use this a lot in commercial work as well, for particular windows like louver windows, for example. So what I want to show you is, especially working here and then working on this window here and then working on a normal size largish window, and why 8-inch is so special in the size, especially for the, as I said, for the UK windows, but it will be beneficial for anybody living anywhere in any country really. So let's get on with it. And then I'll go in focus right onto the tool so you can see exactly what is what, okay, and how you do it. So perfect size for these opener windows. So all I've got to do, because this will fit right in that size pane, put the tool in the right place at the right time, and it's zero detail, zero mistake, and pretty much zero drip. So now the rubber is nice and moist, I can now put that tool in the right position and have no issue whatsoever. This is saturated. I've had the soap added to the washer, and look at the drips I've got. Minimal. So working in a window this size, absolutely perfect to navigate, because the size is so much more beneficial compared to a 10-inch. And I've asked Moorman for many years, make one, and the reason why they won't make one is because they said there's no demand for it. Well, to be honest, they're right, because nobody's really going out there, and I've told people many times, this size, if you're into doing a lot of traditional work and you're using a lot of pole work, this size is the best size to work with. It's better than the 6-inch. The 6-inch is a little bit too small for most windows, but this is perfect for this window, and then we've got a big window here where I can navigate very nicely over this glass, and basically it's a one size fits all, especially for, as I said, residential UK windows. So you've seen what it does. It's absolutely, I can't tell you how good it is to work with, and this is the problem with window cleaning. I've got everything spot on, everything works absolutely fine for me, and I wish that translated to the majority of window cleaners, and it just doesn't. And one reason why it doesn't is because, you know, Moorman don't make sizes that are exceedingly useful to use, but because there's no demand, they ain't gonna make it. Right, so you've got to make it yourself. So let's strip this apart and I'll show you exactly how you do it. So I'm going to get behind the camera so I can see that I'm doing it, you know, filming correctly in front of the camera. Yeah, so this is an 8-inch. You can't get 8 inches, so what you do is you get a 10-inch or 12-inch or whatever channel you've got, and you want to turn it into an 8-inch, right? So you get a hacksaw. All you need is a hacksaw. You don't even have to cut the metal straight, right? If you cut it wonky, it doesn't matter. All you got to do, let's say you got a 10-inch, right? All you got to do is mark 2 inches from the end and then hacksaw it. Because it's made of aluminium, it cuts really easy. Now, the reason why it doesn't have to be straight is because when you put this end clip back on, the end clip will make it straight. So it doesn't matter how wonky it is. That end clip is so, these are the 2.2, 2.0 and the 3.0s. They fit so tightly onto the channel, they ain't gonna fall off, right? So that's what you got to do. Number one, you got to cut the channel 2 inches. Right, secondly, these are the clips that hold the washer here. So again, you got your hacksaw, you get a pair of pliers, you clamp one side of the clip here. This is this clip now, not the end clip, and you just saw it. And how long does that take? About 30 to 60 seconds to saw each side, right? You've now done both sides, and it doesn't have to be super smooth. It just has to be kind of like the same width of the nipple to the width of the clip, because normally, well, what they come is like this, right? So all Mormon has to do is make this clip exceedingly slim and get an 8-inch channel, which they can do, and make an 8-inch flick, and they can do that, and you've got yourself a beautiful performing size to work with on a pole. This is for pole work, but you know, it's always useful to have an 8-inch squeegee as well in the hand, which I also have. So you do both the male clips, and that is done. Right, so now we've got the washer here. So this washer was a 10-inch, so I cut one side with a pair of scissors. I cut about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off. Okay, and these flaps here, just one has to be snipped off, because this will stay as it is, and this is the modified side. So what I need to do, or what you need to do, is then get a needle and thread, stitch it back up so it's not open, so it's nice and neat like the other side, and then stitch this flap back on. And I've got this is my own stitching, right? So it looks messy, but it works fine. There's no holes, there's no wear, and it's as good as it was when I made it over 2 years ago, right? And then what I've done is an extra bonus. This isn't very good for scrubbing, so I stitch my own pot washing material. Doesn't rust, it doesn't fall apart. I just stitch it in and it stays fine. It all works fine. The only reason I will scratch a pane of glass is if there's grit stuck in there, and but that happens when you got grit on your squeegee rubber or on your applicator, so just be careful not to get grit in there. Or if the windows have plastic tint, then that will scratch. But 100% of the time when I'm working, I don't work on these tinted windows, because the jobs that I did have for these tinted windows I don't do anymore. So all I'm working on is 100% glass, which is fine for me using this. Right, so if I put this all back together, you're gonna let's get it right way. You're gonna see that the 8-inch, as long as you've got these clips the same sort of width of these nipples here, the 8-inch will perfectly fit the Accelerator 2 handle, not the Accelerator 1, but the Accelerator 2 handle. So it fits perfectly, right? So that is all flush. There is no channel showing whatsoever, so it's all one complete part of the tool, no channel showing whatsoever. So really, unless you start modifying the channel, the actual handle here, which I wouldn't recommend to do, an 8-inch is the smallest you can do size wise.